Good morning, dear students. Today we'll discuss about the submandibular region. Submandibular region includes deeper structure in the area between the mandible and hyoid bone. This is mandible, here is hyoid bone. Between mandible and hyoid bone, this region is submandibular region. It includes floor of the mouth and the root of the tongue. The submandibular region contains the suprahyoid muscles. This is hyoid bone. Above the muscle is suprahyoid muscle. So we'll discuss about the suprahyoid muscles, and here submandibular gland is present, and sublingual gland is present, and submandibular ganglion. So we'll discuss suprahyoid muscles, submandibular, sublingual salivary glands, and submandibular ganglion. Here you can see this is hyoid bone. This is mandible. Between mandible and hyoid bone, this is suprahyoid muscle. That means muscle above the hyoid bone. तो यहाँ hyoid bone के ऊपर जो भी muscles हैं mandible के बीच में, ये है suprahyoid muscles. और इसमें है geniohyoid. रेड कलर से देखिए, ये है geniohyoid. It takes origin from inferior genial tubercle to the hyoid bone. तो यहाँ पर inferior genial tubercle है, यहाँ hyoid bone. This is geniohyoid muscle. Another muscle is mylohyoid. There is mylohyoid line in the mandible, inner aspect of the mandible. So mylohyoid line से origin लिया and inserted on the median raphe and hyoid bone. So deep to this there is this is mylohyoid muscle. And another muscle is digestive. So this muscle is digestive. This is yellow color shown here. So ये है digestive fossa. It takes origin from digestive fossa. This is anterior belly of the digestive. यहाँ से आती है, ये है fibrous pulley. From here, it turns back and it connect with the posterior belly. So this is intermediate tendon. You can see this part is intermediate tendon. So anterior belly and posterior belly of the digestive. And another muscle is stylohyoid. This is shown in green color. This is stylohyoid. It arises from the posterior aspect of the styloid muscle, styloid process, and inserted on the hyoid bone. So stylohyoid. So these are four muscles. These are the suprahyoid muscles. So we will discuss in detail. If you see the developmental aspect of the submandibular gland, the endodermal wall of the foregut is separated from the surface ectoderm by a layer of mesoderm. That means 3 layers: ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. Soon the mesoderm come to arrange in form of the 6 bars that run dorsoventrally in the side of the foregut. Foregut के wall में dorsoventrally 6 bars होंगे, and each of these bars go ventrally in the floor of the developing pharynx and fuse with the corresponding bar of the opposite side to form pharyngeal arches. Pharyngeal arches पर लेक्चर हो चुका है. ये है pharyngeal arches. कैसे बने? Foregut की wall में, forward की wall में mesodermal जो thickening होगी, serially from first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So 6 pharyngeal arch initially formed. Here you can see this is first. This is mesodermal thickening. This is first, the second, third, fourth, and 6th arch. 5th become D-shaped just after its formation. So there are only 5 pharyngeal arches remains. So you have seen the muscles, the anterior belly of the digestive and mylohyoid, 2 muscles. The anterior belly of the digestive and mylohyoid muscle derived from first arch, and the nerve of the first arch is mandibular nerve. So these both muscles are supplied by mandibular nerve, and a branch of the mandibular nerve which supply these muscles are nerve to mylohyoid. The nerve to mylohyoid gets supplied to anterior belly of the digestive and mylohyoid muscle. So both get supplied by first arch nerve, that is mandibular nerve, and its branch nerve to mylohyoid, and second arch posterior belly of the digestive and stylohyoid. Both these muscles develop from second arch and Nerve of the second branch is facial nerve. That's why the posterior belly of the digestive and stylohyoid supplied by branch is the facial nerve. Here you can see the origin insertion nerve supply action of these muscles. That has two belly united by intermediate tendon. You have seen it has two belly united by intermediate tendons. The anterior belly from the digestive fossa of the mandible and posterior belly from muscular notch of temporal bone. So anterior belly and posterior belly takes origin from these places. And insertion, both heads meet at the intermediate tendon, which perforates stylohyoid muscle. Nerve supply is anterior belly by nerve to mylohyoid and posterior belly by facial nerve. Action, it depresses the mandible against resistance and elevates the hyoid bone. So it elevates the hyoid bone and depresses the mandible. Under muscle is stylohyoid muscle. This is the posterior surface of the styloid muscle. It takes origin from posterior surface of the styloid muscle. And insertion, junction of the body and greater cardio of the hyoid bone. इसके नाम से लग रहा है stylohyoid. Stylo means styloid process. Hyoid means hyoid bone. तो यहाँ से ये hyoid bone में insert कर देंगे. Nerve supply, facial nerve. It pulls hyoid bone backward and upward. पीछे की मसल है यहाँ पर styloid process हो रहा है ये. It pulls upward and backward. You can see in this diagram, this is anterior belly of the digestive, this is posterior belly of the digestive. Anterior belly takes origin from digestive fossa here, in the mandible, anterior belly. Here, fibers fully, and this is intermediate tendon. This is intermediate tendon, is posterior connected with the posterior belly of the digestive. It takes origin from muscular notch. And under muscle is stylohyoid. It takes origin from styloid process and started on hyoid, stylohyoid. And deep to this, here you can see this is mylohyoid muscle. Deep to this part is mylohyoid muscle. So mylohyoid muscle is the flat triangular muscle. It takes origin from mylohyoid line of the mandible and posterior fibers, body of the hyoid bone, middle and anterior fibers inserted on the median raphe between the mandible and hyoid. ये both sides की यहाँ से हाइड बोन यहाँ से मैंडिबल से आकर के ये आई मीडियम रैपी यहाँ से आता है मीडियम रैपी और हाइड बोन में mylohyoid. Nerve supply is nerve to mylohyoid. It elevates the floor of the mouth in the first stage of the deglutition and help in depressing the mandible and elevating the hyoid bone. And the muscle is geniohyoid. Geniohyoid takes origin from the genial tubercle. There are two genial tubercles, superior and inferior genial tubercle. Superior genial tubercle gives origin to the genio process and inferior genial tubercle gives origin to the geniohyoid. So geniohyoid muscle takes origin from inferior mental spine as genial tubercle and inserted on the anterior surface of the body of the hyoid. Nerve supply is even through the hypoglossal nerve. The hypoglossal nerve here carry the C1 fibers which gives supply to the geniohyoid, and it elevates hyoid bone and may depress mandible when hyoid bone is split. Here you can see this is geniohyoid muscle. Here is inferior genial tubercle. So from here to here, this is genial tubercle, inferior genial tubercle, and hyoid bone. This is geniohyoid. And here is mylohyoid line. So mylohyoid line to hyoid bone. This is mylohyoid. Now the relation of the mylohyoid, superficial relation. Its superficial relation is anterior belly of the digestive, superficial part of the mandibular salivary gland, mylohyoid nerve and vessel, some mental branch of the facial artery. So these structures lie superficial to mylohyoid. And deep to this, there is hyoglossus, which is superficial relation, namely styloglossus, lingual nerve, submandibular ganglia, deep part of submandibular salivary gland, submandibular duct, hypoglossal nerve, and vena commitans hypoglossi. Here you can see this is here is from here mylohyoid is removed and deeper structure you can see deep to the mylohyoid. These structures are present deep to the mylohyoid. These are the lingual nerve, submandibular ganglion. Here is submandibular gland, duct. This is hypoglossal nerve. So these structures lie deep to the genioglossus with superficial relation, sublingual salivary gland, lingual nerve, submandibular duct, lingual artery, and hypoglossal nerve. Now we'll discuss one important structure present in this region, that is submandibular salivary gland. It is a paired submandibular salivary gland are the major salivary gland located beneath the floor of the mouth, in the anterior part of the digestive tract. So it lies in the anterior part of the digestive triangle. It contains both serous and mucus secreting glandular elements. अगर हम तीनों ग्लैंड की बात करें, thyroid gland, submandibular and sublingual gland. So thyroid is predominantly serous, and submental is predominantly mucus. And in between these two, here is submandibular gland, and submandibular is it has both parts. It has both parts, serous and mucus. So this is serous and mucus gland. Each gland weighs about 15 grams and contributes some 60 to 67% of unstimulated saliva secretion. On stimulation, their contribution decreases in the proportion as thyroid secretion rises to 50%. The gland is about the size of the wall. Here you can see position of the submandibular duct here, and this is submandibular gland. This is deep part of the submandibular gland. This is superficial part of the submandibular gland. So this gland is submandibular gland, and this is sublingual gland. This is sublingual gland. It is roughly, you can say in this diagram, this is superficial, this part is deep part, and this gland is indented by mylohyoid. This is mylohyoid. तो ये mylohyoid gland, mylohyoid muscle का posterior margin, ये इसको divide कर दे रही है gland को superficial और deep part. और देखने में लग रहा है कि like J-shaped. So it is J-shaped, being indented by posterior part of the mylohyoid muscle, and it is divided superficial and deep part. So in this diagram, you can see this is superficial part, this is deep part. Superficial part of the gland fills the digestive triangle. You can see this fills the digestive triangle, and it extends upward. Here you can see this is superficial part. It extends upward deep to the mandible, up to the mylohyoid line. This is mylohyoid line here. ये है, ये mandible है, mandible का part ये mylohyoid line, जिसमें mandibular fossa, इसी में ये gland है. This is superficial part of the submandibular gland. It has three surfaces, three borders. It has superior, inferior, lateral, medial border, and here is surface. Here is lateral surface. This is medial surface. This is inferior surface. So lateral, medial, inferior surface. The gland is partially enclosed between two layers of the deep cervical fascia. This gland is partially enclosed between the two layers of the deep cervical fascia. Here you can see in this diagram, this is tongue. Here is tongue, and below the tongue you can see this part. This muscle is lower part. You can see this is the mandible. This muscle is mylohyoid muscle, and this part of the gland you can see superficial and deep part of the gland. So this is outline of the gland here, and this posterior margin of this mylohyoid, it divides the gland into superficial and deep part, and this is duct. Duct rise from deep part. This deep part, duct rise. Now relations. If you guys Here you can see this is the mandible. Here is mandibular fossa. This part is the superficial part of the salivary gland, submandibular gland. You can see the relation of the inferior surface. Inferior surface is covered by skin. Here you can see the surface is covered by skin. Then skin contains the platysma muscle. It is covered by platysma. Here you can see this is platysma. Skin, then platysma, and branches of the facial nerve. This is mandibular branch of the facial nerve. Then deep fascia, facial vein, here is facial vein, and submandibular lymph node. These structures related inferior. And lateral surface related to, its lateral surface related to the submandibular fossa. This is submandibular fossa here. And insertion of the medial pterygoid muscle. Here lies the insertion of the medial pterygoid muscle. And facial artery, you can see this is yes letter-like force. This is curved, double curved here. This is facial artery. In this diagram, you can see this is medial pterygoid muscle. Now medial relation. Medial relation, here you can see this muscle. This is mylohyoid muscle. And these are the mylohyoid nerve. And this is mylohyoid nerve. Mylohyoid, hyoglossus, and styloglossus muscle. So these structures related to this and medial side. Medial surface related to the inferiorly overlap. Here you can see this medial surface. This is medial surface here. It is covered by stylohyoid and posterior belly of the digastric. This is medial surface. Here is posterior belly of the digastric and stylohyoid. Here, this is stylohyoid. Deep part. It was superficial part. Now you can see this part. This is deep part. This part is small in size and lies deep to the mylohyoid muscle and superficial to hyoglossus muscle. This is hyoglossus muscle. It lies between the superficial, between hyoglossus and mylohyoid. इन दोनों के बीच में ये मसल है, deep part. And posteriorly, it continues with the superficial part. Posteriorly, it continues with the superficial part around the posterior border of the mylohyoid. This is posterior border of the mylohyoid. इसके चारों ओर ये पीछे से घूम के superficial से कनेक्ट हो जा रहे हैं. And this deep part anteriorly extends up to the posterior border of the sublingual gland. Sublingual gland, ये जहाँ इस लेवल तक जा रही है. And here you can see this is sublingual gland. So it goes near the submandibular gland, sublingual gland. So this is deep part and this is the sublingual gland. This is deep part, this is sublingual gland. Now submandibular duct. This is thin walled and about 5 centimeters long. It merges at the anterior end of the deep part of the gland and runs forward on the hyoglossus between the lingual and hypoglossal nerve. So this duct arises from, length is 5 centimeters and arises from the deep part, not superficial, deep part. At deep part and anterior end of the deep part. At the anterior border of the hyoglossus, duct is crossed by lingual nerve and hypoglossal nerve. Important thing. This duct is crossed by lingual nerve. It opens on the floor of the mouth on the summit of sublingual papilla at side of the femur of the tongue. Here you can see this duct opens here. This part, this is summit of sublingual papilla. यहाँ से यहाँ तक फ्रेंडम होगा, फ्रेंडम ऑफ द टंग. और इसके ये है sublingual patella यहाँ पर open करते हैं. So this is the here you can see this is the submandibular duct. It rise from deep part. Now development. The submandibular salivary gland develops later than the parotid gland will appear late in the 6th week of the prenatal development. They develop bilaterally from epithelial parts in the sulcus surrounding the sublingual fold on the floor of pubic mouth. The solid card branch from the butt and grows posteriorly lateral to the developing tongue. The card of the submandibular gland later branch further and then become canalized to form ductal part. So here you can see this is submandibular part, and here is sublingual part. This is the 8th week endodermal in the origin. This is endodermal in origin, and this is endodermal, and this is also submandibular 6th or 7th week. This is endodermal. The submandibular gland HNI develops from the cast rounded terminal end at the 12th week, and secretory activity by the submandibular duct begins at the 16 weeks. Growth of the submandibular gland continues after birth with the formation of the more HNI. Lateral to the both sides of the tongue, a linear groove develops and closes over to form submandibular duct. If you see histology, the lobes contain smaller lobules, which contains adenomeres, the secretory unit of the glands. Each adenomere contains one or more HNI or alveoli, which are small cluster of the cells that secrete their products into the duct. The HNI of each adenomere are composed of either serous or mucous cells, which secrete adenomeres predominantly. Some mucous adenomeres may also be capped with the serous demi-lumes. The layer of the glycogen secreting serous cells resembles a half moon. Here you can see this is mucus secreting, and this here are the serous. Serous are the pinkish and filled completely. Here light in color, mucus secreting are light in color. Like other exocrine glands, the submandibular gland can be classified by microscopic anatomy of cells and how they are arranged. Because the glands are branched and the tubules forming the branches contain secretory cells. Submandibular glands are classified as branched tubulo-alveolar gland. Branched tubulo-alveolar gland. Because of the secretory cells of the both serous and mucous types, the submandibular gland is a mixed gland. Mucous cells secrete mucin, which aids in the lubrication of the fluid bolus as it travels to the esophagus. In addition, the serous cells produce salivary amylase, which aids in the breakdown of the starch in the mouth. The submandibular gland, highly active HNI account for the most of salivary volume. Parotid and sublingual glands account for the remainder. Now, blood supply, the gland receives blood supply from facial and lingual arteries, drained by common facial and lingual veins. Lymphatic image, lymphatics from the submandibular gland first drain into the submandibular lymph node. Then from here it goes to the cervical group of lymph node. Then it is jugulo-omohyoid lymph node. Jugulo-omohyoid. So here you can see the arterial supply. There is facial artery, there is lingual artery. This area is supplied by the branches of these arteries. Here you can see the facial artery. Nerve supply is supplied by branches of submandibular ganglia. Nerve supply is important, is supplied by submandibular ganglia. These are regulated directly by parasympathetic nervous system and indirectly by sympathetic nervous system. So this parasympathetic ganglion has both two components, sympathetic, parasympathetic, and also one is sensory. We'll discuss that. Parasympathetic innervation to the submandibular gland is provided by superior salivary nucleus. Why the chorda tympani? A branch of facial nerve that become part of the trigeminal nerve, lingual nerve prior to synapse on the submandibular. तो parasympathetic fibers कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? ये आ रहे हैं superior salivary nucleus. Superior salivary nucleus कहाँ है? ये है it lies in the pons. वहां से फाइबर्स फेशियल नर्व के थ्रू आ रहे हैं. फेशियल नर्व की कौन सी ब्रांच के साथ में बाहर आ रहे हैं? ये है chorda tympani. इसके साथ chorda tympani के साथ में आते हैं. फिर वहां से लिंगुअल नर्व जो कि मैंडिबुलर नर्व की ब्रांच है उससे मिल जाते हैं. लिंगुअल नर्व के साथ में और फिर लिंगुअल नर्व से ही दोनों गैंग्लियन सबमैंडिबुलर गैंग्लियन हैंग किया हुआ है, उसी से अटैच है. तो वो फाइबर गैंग्लियन में आ जाते हैं. फिर गैंग्लियन के थ्रू सप्लाई होती है ब्लड. Increased parasympathetic activity increase the secretion of the saliva. The sympathetic nervous system regulates mandibular secretion, submandibular secretion through vasoconstriction of the artery that supplies. Here you can see, this is pons, this is brain stem, midbrain, pons and medulla. In pons here you can see superior salivary nucleus. This should be a salivary nucleus. ये सुपीरियर ये दिस इज फेशियल नर्व. ये फेशियल नर्व आ रही है, इसी की ब्रांच है chorda tympani. ये लिंगुअल नर्व किसकी ब्रांच है? मैंडिबुलर नर्व की ब्रांच. इससे जुड़ जा रही है और ये टंग को सप्लाई करने जा रही है. इसी से ये देखिए हैंग करते हुए दो रूप से अटके हुए ये है सबमैंडिबुलर सलावरी गैंग्लिया. इस सबमैंडिबुलर गैंग्लिया. तो इसमें ये फाइबर्स आते हैं, देखिए ये रेड कलर से आ रहे हैं. यहाँ पर ये सिनैप्स करते हैं और ये पैरासिम्पैथिक सप्लाई देंगे और यहाँ से फिर पोस्ट गैंग्लियनिक फाइबर ये फिर ग्लैंड उसी नर्व में चले जा रहे हैं, लिंगुअल नर्व में. फिर इसके थ्रू फिर आगे जा रहे हैं और ये सब लिंगुअल को सप्लाई कर रहे हैं. और ये सिंपैथिक फाइबर देखिए ये है P1 सेगमेंट ऑफ द स्पाइनल कॉर्ड. यहाँ से सुपीरियर सिंपैथिक गैंग्लियन हो गए और यहाँ से ये आर्टरी के अराउंड ये है सिंपैथिक अराउंड फेशियल आर्टरी. फेशियल अराउंड आर्टरी के अराउंड प्लेक्सस हो रहा है, प्लेक्सस. और प्लेक्सस से ब्रांच जो निकलती है ये आती है, गैंग्लियन को क्रॉस करके जाती है, गैंग्लियन के थ्रू जाती है और ये सप्लाई करती है सबमैंडिबुलर ग्लैंड. और यही सप्लाई फिर इधर भी करती है. यहाँ से देखिए ये आई सबलिंगुअल ग्लैंड पे. तो ये दिस पार्ट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. इसकी पैरासिम्पैथिक एंड सिम्पैथिक कहाँ है? This is the smallest of the three salivary glands, sublingual gland. Is the smallest of the three salivary glands. Shape is almond-like and its weight is 3 to 4 grams. It lies above the mylohyoid, below the mucosa of the floor of the mouth, medial to sublingual fossa of the mandible and lateral to the genius. Here, in this diagram, here you can see the submandibular gland, the superficial part. Here is this part. This is sublingual gland. This is tongue, like below the tongue. That's why sublingual. They are drained by 8 to 20 secretory ducts called the duct of the Rabinus. There is the duct of Rabinus. Largest of all the sublingual ducts are Bartholin joined to submandibular duct, drained to submandibular caruncle. Sublingual caruncle is a small papilla near the midline of the floor of the mouth on each side of the lingulam frenulum. Most of the remaining small sublingual ducts open separately into the mouth of an elevated crest of the mucous membrane. The papilla sublingualis formed by gland and located on either side of the frenulum. Here you can see sublingual papilla. ये देखिए टंग है, below the tongue. You turn the tongue, you can see this. This is sublingual papilla. and this is sublingual fold. So here is summit of the sublingual papilla. Here submandibular gland opens, and here in the fold, sublingual fold, here two numerous openings, sublingual gland. Here you can see this is opening duct of the sublingual gland. There are numerous ducts which opens in the floor of the mouth. Development. Sublingual gland appears in the 8th week of intrauterine life, 2 weeks later than the other two major glands. They develop from epithelial buds in the sulcus surrounding the sublingual folds on the floor of the mouth, lateral to developing submandibular gland. These buds branch and form into the parts that converge to form the sublingual duct associated with the gland. The rounded terminal end of the part forms its neck. Blood supply. Here you can see blood supply branch of the sublingual and submental artery. Here is sublingual and submental artery. Here you can see this is facial artery. Facial artery gets the submental branch. Here one branch is lingual artery. The branch of external cavity. So it is supplied by the branches of the facial and lingual artery. Nerve supply of the gland is parasympathetic secretory nerve from the chorda tympani and sympathetic from the plexus of the facial artery. Sensory nerve from the lingual nerve. तो जिससे वो लगे हुए हैं अंदर दो रूट से वो नर्व है लिंगुअल नर्व. लिंगुअल नर्व किसकी ब्रांच है? ये ब्रांच है मैंडिबुलर की. मैंडिबुलर किसकी ब्रांच है? ट्राइजेमिनल. तो ये सेंसरी है. तो सेंसरी सप्लाई थ्रू दी लिंगुअल. ये रिक्वेस्ट है लिंगुअल नर्व और ये है यहाँ से ये है सबमैंडिबुलर एरिया. तो यहाँ से काड़ा स्ट्रिप बनाई के थ्रू फाइबर्स आए. यहाँ पे स्नैप की पैरासिम्पैथिक सप्लाई और ये है सिम्पैथिक सप्लाई. तीनों सेगमेंट ऑफ द स्पाइनल कॉर्ड. ये सर्वाइकल गैंग्लियन में गई यहाँ से. फिर यहाँ से फिर देखिए ये जाकर तो सबलिंगुअल ग्लैंड को सप्लाई. lymphatic drainage, it's through the submental and submandibular lymph node. Now submandibular ganglion. This is the parasympathetic ganglion. Parasympathetic peripheral ganglion is a relay station for secretomotor fiber to the submandibular and sublingual salivary gland. Already discussed. Topography, it is related to the sublingual nerve, but functionally it is connected to the chorda tympani, the branch of facial nerve. तो पोजीशन के अकॉर्डिंग देखें तो ये इसके साथ में अटैच है लिंगुअल नर्व. टोपोग्राफिकली इट इज पार्ट ऑफ लगता है कि ये लिंगुअल नर्व का पार्ट है ना, बट फंक्शनली किसका पार्ट है? ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूट पार्ट ऑफ द कनेक्टिव chorda tympani. It is connected to the chorda tympani. So it is connected to the chorda tympani. It is part of the facial. लोकेशन कहाँ पर है ये? The submandibular ganglion is small and cruciform in shape. It is situated above the deep portion of the submandibular gland on the hypoglossal muscle, on hypoglossal muscle near the posterior border of the mylohyoid. The ganglion hang by two nerve filaments from the lower border of the lingual nerve, which is itself a branch of the mandibular nerve. It is supplied from lingual nerve by two ligaments, one anterior and posterior. Through the posterior of these, it receives a branch from the chorda tympani nerve, which runs in the sheath of the lingual nerve. Submandibular ganglion is the site of synapses for the parasympathetic fiber and carries other type of the nerve fibers that do not synapse in the inhale. तो इसमें आपने देखा कि पैरासिम्पैथिक फाइबर ही सिनेप्स कर रहे हैं, बाकी सिंपैथिक नहीं, सिंपैथिक क्रॉस कर जा रहे हैं. तो ये अगर इस डायग्राम में देखें, sympathetic fibers, they are derived from plexus around the facial artery. This is facial artery. यहाँ से ये plexus जो है ये जा रहे हैं, ये देखिए, ये synapse नहीं कर रहे हैं, ये सीधे यहाँ ग्लैंड, ये गैंग्लियन में गए, फिर वापस से फिर लिंगुअल नर्व में, फिर इसके थ्रू सबलिंगुअल ग्लैंड में सप्लाई कर रहे हैं, और यहाँ से डायरेक्टली सप्लाई कर रहे हैं इसको सबमें। तो यहाँ सिनैप्स है ये, और ये देखिए कार्डा टिम्पनी, ये है कार्डा टिम्पनी, ये यहाँ सिनैप्स कर रहा है। तो ये प्री गैंग्लियनिक फाइबर दी जाते हैं, पोस्ट गैंग्लियनिक फाइबर दी जाते हैं, पोस्ट गैंग्लियनिक सिंपैथिक फाइबर, सुपीरियर सर्वाइकल सिंपैथिक गैंग्लियन करके पोस्ट गैंग्लियनिक फाइबर्स, they pass through the submandibular spinal gland without relay, and here you can see without relay supply vasomotor fibers to sublingual and submandibular gland. Same right. Secretomotor fibers कहाँ जाते हैं? parasympathetic fiber, ये फ्लो चार्ट याद रख लीजिए, बहुत जरूरी है। सुपीरियर सलाइवरी न्यूक्लियस से आए, फिर गैंग्लियनिक फाइबर से राइट नर्वस इंटरमीडिएट में गए, फिर फेशियल नर्व, फिर फेशियल नर्व की कार्डा टिम्पनी ब्रांच में गए, फिर ज्वाइंट लिंगुअल नर्व, देन सबमैंडिबुलर गैंग्लियन में गए, फिर वहां से रिले पोस्ट गैंग्लियनिक फाइबर्स, फिर जाते हैं पोस्ट गैंग्लियनिक फाइबर्स गोस टू सबमैंडिबुलर एंड सबलिंगुअल ग्लैंड। तो दिस इज फ्लो चार्ट। नाउ अप्लाइड एस्पेक्ट, ranula. What is ranula? True cyst of the submandibular gland is extremely rare. This is a rare cyst present in the gland, submandibular gland. The ranula is so named for its resemblance of the frog's belly. It is like a frog's belly, and this appearance is due to the accumulation of the saliva beneath the thin mucous membrane of the floor of the mouth. Here you can see. This is ranula. This is mouth opening, here the tongue, and here this is ranula. Another condition, cialolithiasis. Cialolithiasis. Cialolithiasis is salivary calculus. स्टोन कई बार होता है, डक्ट में स्टोन बन जाते हैं ना, तो cialoliths are calcified structure that develop within the ductal system of the major or minor salivary gland. It is a both cause and consequence of the chronic recurrence cialolithiasis. इसकी वजह से फिर फिस्टुला आ जाती है। इस डायग्राम में देखिए, ये एक्सरे है, ये एक्सरे में आया, ये है cialolithiasis, stone in the duct. So this is all about the submandibular region. Thank you. सबमैंडिबुलर रीजन पर हमारा लेक्चर भी है, यूट्यूब में पहले से ही अपलोडेड है। अगर ये हमें समझ में आता है तो आप उसको देख लीजिए। यूट्यूब में लिखिए सबमैंडिबुलर रीजन बाय डॉक्टर ए के सिंह। थैंक यू।